Previously on HomeMADE, 10 designers took on the biggest renovation competition ever attempted. 2 teams, 2 homes, $50,000 each, and just 5 days to make it all happen.
I'm coming.
But first, they had to deliver the bedrooms.
I fear that it's a little undeveloped.
Oh, God.
I knew David would dislike that wall.
What's happening here?
Didn't get there.
It should have been finished. Someone will be voted off. I hope it's not you.
I've fallen short for the mark.
And now, our 2 teams have less than 2 days left
The pressure is on.
to completely make over their homes.
Do something, Matt. Don't anybody touch those tables.
We've only got 2 hours left before the house has to be finished.
It's just overwhelming.
This is a lovely bedroom.
I don't think there was a lot of teamwork.
Then they will face the judges.
I didn't come here to go home in the first week.
1 team will win, 1 team will lose, and 1 designer will go home as they fight to win the $100,000 prize.
In the end, it's going to be a sad day for someone.
Our 2 teams are preparing today for the final onslaught at their clients' homes. They have to finish the entire project by midday tomorrow. On the Mirando's team are Richie, Stacey, Matthew, Chantel, and Darren.
When I woke up at 4:30 this morning, I immediately started thinking, how can we save some money?
We are close to $5,000 over budget.
Are mine is more expensive just because...
Feeling really nervous because if we get disqualified over something like this, it would suck.
In the Griffiths team, it's Jason, Matt, Leonie, Tony, and Annie.
We've got furniture arriving and stuff, but we don't have the really thing, like all these ornaments and stuff that make a place look amazing. But I mentioned it to Matt this morning. He's like, we don't have time, it's done. And like, he just tried to cut me down. And I'm starting to get, I think, angry for the first time with some of my teammates.
Across town at the Mirando's, while their bathroom facilities are still on the front lawn, at least they've enjoyed a night in their new bedrooms.
Had a great sleep, this wonderful bed. Did you sleep well?
Yeah.
Is it as comfy as your bed?
No.
Next door at the Griffiths,
This isn't a good look.
Oh, well.
Pyjamas and work boots, anyway.
it's the kitchen that's still in the backyard.
It was weird waking up though. Like
In the room, I felt like I was...
Where are we?
I felt like I was in the wrong place.
But with the arrival of their design team, hopefully that's all about to change.
Hi, how you going? I'm Leonie.
Leonie from Perth is the designer responsible for delivering the Griffiths' new kitchen by midday tomorrow.
Splashbacks here.
Leonie's making huge changes to her kitchen. I mean, she's pulled down a wall that used to go through to a laundry. She's opened it up, which I think is great.
I'm pretty nervous about doing the kitchen. Like, it's probably the thing that I think most people look at when they look at a newly renovated home.
Microwave, under, cooktop, oven, range hood, dishwasher, bench, space, sink. It's going to be good, I hope. Dear God.
Matt from Melbourne also has a big task ahead of him with just 24 hours to complete the bathroom.
Matt's working on the bathroom, and it's quite a small room.
The bath was on that side, so you look straight into a dunny.
Right.
So what we've done is we've turned the bath around, so when you walk past you don't see the toilet, it's sort of concealed there.
That's a great move.
Then above there we're going to have a nice, mirrored cabinet. Just white and simple.
The other member of the Griffiths design team is Tony from Canberra. Her job is to deliver the whole living and dining area.
We haven't unwrapped any of the furniture yet, but from the packaging that they have, I'm hoping that there's a whole heap of bubble wrap padding it out, because there's a few boxes there that look mighty big. Is the general feel that you want to go for the three-seater facing this way? Yeah?
Does that fit?
That's not going to fit.
It doesn't fit.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that she's that confident about what she's doing with that room.
The lounge room's actually quite narrow, so it's kind of hard to configure furniture.
There's things that need to be resolved. I'm worried about where she's putting the television.
They're talking about configuring all the furniture to orientate towards the fireplace, so it makes the fireplace a feature. Like, the fireplace will be pretty, but it's not a functioning. Well, we're not going to have a fire in there.
I don't know how it's all going to work.
I knew Jason was upset about the critique that he got from David.
No, I knew David would dislike that wall, the console area.
The important thing to remember when decorating a room like Jason's main bedroom is that it has 4 walls. And I can't help but think that he's concentrated so much on one end of the room and kind of forgotten about the other.
So I'm really happy because I was a bit worried turning up here today. I've come up with an idea to carry that yellow theme to that wall that Dave said was a bit plain. When the new furniture I get, if I can get it today in time, will hopefully pop against that wall.
Annie's done a great job in the nursery. I mean, she chose a really punchy colour. It's contemporary, it's upbeat.
When David critiqued my room, he hated the pendant.
As soon as I walked in the room, this shade was glaring at me. It just wasn't good enough.
And I'm going to change it. I mean, I'm listening to this man. He is a guru.
Next door at the Mirandos, Richie and Chantel have similar problems. Both designers also need to make changes to the rooms they delivered yesterday.
Poor Richie. I mean, he hasn't even completed his 2 kids' rooms. He's really going to have to get cracking.
Yesterday was, a little bit disappointing. I would love to get in there and finish them off,
The problem is that the rest of their team now really needs their help. Darren has a kitchen to deliver, Stacey's finishing her bathroom, and Matthew is taking care of the whole living area.
We've basically got less than 24 hours to do the whole living dining area in regards to myself.
So you've made some enormous structural changes.
Yeah, it's been really good that we've been able to take this wall out for the family, and when we get their brand new bifold doors in...
Yes, look at that. Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
It'll be fantastic. It'll really open everything up.
Do you reckon that'll go with your thinking?
Matthew and Darren are working together on the kitchen, dining, living space that's kind of going to flow on together.
All of this is kitchen as well. It's going to be storage for your cutlery, your cookware, all your glasses, all your plates, all your pots and pans, all the way along there.
Stacey's bathroom is interesting because I immediately thought, oh, it's a small bathroom. And when I walked in, she was making it smaller, building walls.
We've built this out so we can have a shelf that's going to be recessed into here. Okay, this is going to be beautiful white Caesar stone, 250mm high.
They've made some big decisions, big structural changes to the house. And considering the budget, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Okay, so we can't afford the washer dryer, so we need to get them out of storage. This is something that needs to happen.
This is going to happen.
Yeah. You know, we started stripping things back that weren't necessarily essential. So, yeah, we brought the budget back down again.
Back at the Griffiths, Jason is taking the team's remaining budget to buy much-needed knickknacks for everybody's rooms, especially his own.
I like getting out of the house and going shopping. But having a sale, so there's so much to choose from.
I'll see how much Jason's spending.
Yeah, call Jason now.
Hey, Matt, were you after me then?
Yeah, I was just wondering whether you had an idea of how much you're spending.
No, we're doing really well. It's at this stage of sale. She's going to...
Put it all together, she's going to give me a price.
I won't spend too much more. I may have to eliminate some of that. That'd be really great.
He's been out best part of 4 hours.
Have you got more than one of these? Ooh, it's expensive.
I think he's probably looking after his best interests today.
I think that's going to work. 3 of those.
It's taking a while.
I just saw something else.
Came back and unloaded the car, showed everyone my stuff in the backyard.
What'd you get, Jace?
These things are like just to fill in all the, for the study, like to fill in the boxes, lots of colour. Lots of colour.
I think Jason did okay today.
Bowl. For the study, another one. This is for you, or there's quite a few little ones of those. Put another bowl on that. More bowls for the kitchen.
I think he might have got a little caught up in the sale frenzy. Did you get a set of steak knives with those?
And
go.
Thank you. I didn't tell you about these, but I got those for myself. Mint.
Oh. He's also sourced a lovely chest for his room.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I think spending over $3,000 though was a little excessive.
Chest of drawers actually added a lot of texture and it had a bit of wow factor, I think. At the end, it sounds cruel, but it is every man for themselves.
If you're here to win, your focus would be to get your room finished and then help the team.
Other people started, looking after themselves. And I realised that I had to do the same.
We need the client here.
Matt's used to project management, and with less than 24 hours to go, he seems to be taking on that role within his team.
I do think I'm stepping up a little bit just because the other guys haven't seemed to really take ownership of the tasks they've got.
Just do it. Get it. He's walking around saying like, oh, can you do this and do that? But I don't think he's taking charge. I think he wants to sound like he's taking charge.
Get Kirsten and Brent.
Maybe it's his ego that needs to sound like he's in charge.
I guess I've just got to keep on top of what the others are doing, with the exception of Leonie. She knows what she's doing.
How long does it take them to fit the top?
2 hours.
2 hours. There's no appliances in. It doesn't look like a kitchen right now.
Hit the ground running as soon as we walked in the door.
Next door at the Mirandos, Darren is also under the pump to finish his kitchen by tomorrow's deadline.
Wow. Now my priority is this space. I've spent enough time on everybody else's spaces, so I just sort of have to be on top of this. Holy moly. Wow. Oh, I love that. Love the colours. Can't wait to see it finished. Me too, mate.
After negotiating some structural changes, Stacey's bathroom is finally coming together.
There was a bath in the bathroom, but they don't have babies or anything, and it was pretty pointless, so I kind of pushed the client to delete that. That's really opened it up, and I've just created one straight line along that wall.
Hey, Matt.
Yep.
Your bifolds are here, mate.
How good do they look?
They look hot, Matt.
Yeah, they're going to look really nice. That colour's good. That's going to work well, I think. Right now, with about 10 minutes till knock-off time for tonight, I'm feeling a bit nervous about delivery of the room. I've still got a lot of little things to do. That all takes time, and at the moment, we haven't got any.
It's the final day of the renovation, 7 a.m. Just 5 hours to go until the deadline.
I didn't come here to go home in the first week.
At 12 o'clock today, it will be tools down, and then the judges will arrive to choose the winning house. And one designer from the losing house will be going home.
In the end, it's going to be a sad day for someone.
I want the fridge in there, I want the washing machine in there, the dryer hung above it. I want the laundry trough in, I want the splashback in, I want the dishwasher in, oven, cooktop, range hood.
Good. 1, 2, 3.
So much work is still left to do. Furniture, fittings, detailing, cleaning. The list is endless. And just a few hours to go. Teamwork is crucial.
Of course I'm going to get it done. There's no other option.
Did I wake up this morning and go, gee, I wonder if all the guys are going to help me today get the kitchen over the line?
I'm going to need your serious help soon.
Yeah, all right, well, just call me. Call me when you need me.
Yeah, I thought that to myself, and then I thought, are they really going to help me?
I'm going to throw myself out this window any second now.
It's all right, mate. You get another job as waitress.
It was a bit frustrating today. Like, the plumber and the electrician were definitely kind of being held up.
Can I enlist your help for just 1 second?
Second.
To put this thing on the wall.
He just went to get something. He was right here.
You go and tell Leonie, because I'm in here, and then
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Just do what you have to do and do it fast so Leonie doesn't even realise you're gone. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. We've only got 2 hours left before the house has to be finished, and I don't have a pendant in that room. I had a mini meltdown this morning with regards to the light for Zoe's room. I had my heart set on drum pendant, and for life nor money, I could not get that thing. You know, we just have to make do. It's a shame.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. It's a big day.
What's up?
When you've done everything, I need a pendant to put in my room.
I'd say Annie on a bathroom or a kitchen would struggle.
Assuming our house loses and I don't go home, the person who I think could go home would be Annie.
I might be the one voted off, you know?
You want to cut circles?
Okay, you teach me how.
Yeah. The artwork that we put together to kind of connect the living, dining area and the kitchen, it was every single person in our house had a go at that one. You hold the power tool, you put it on the board.
Oh, shit. I think this is one of those arty concepts that I have no idea because I'm a buffhead.
How many of those do you have to do, Tony?
About 500.
I feel like I'm at primary school actually at the moment, doing my little bit of craft. I'm a little bit sceptical to how this is going to look on the wall.
Woke up a little bit sick in the stomach this morning. It's a big day. There's lots to get done.
I mean, the day started off as a complete disaster zone. I think the painting has been the biggest flaw in our project this week.
That is definitely not the right colour.
The problem for the Mirando's design team is that 2 days ago they sacked their painters to avoid a budget blowout. That decision is now coming back to haunt them. With time running out fast, they still have a lot of painting to do.
So I thought, God, I've got 1 hour to stick another coat of paint on the ceiling, paint the window frame, paint the architrave, and then clean.
Rich! Hour and a half to go. Clean-up's on. Just starting to sort of get certain areas done, moving in pieces of furniture as one area is completed, so there's not a mad rush at the end. Oh.
Now, watch these glassed up, so we're going to go down.
The boys brought in the furniture and I kind of had my suspicions when I saw the boxes in the flesh.
We'll work that out. We'll work that out.
I thought maybe it could have been a little big.
The furniture's far too big, like it's colossal. I have to call down and get them to bring in 2 two-seaters. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, this is like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, have a think.
Oh, don't get flustered. All right.
I wish that she had taken into consideration the size of the room when she purchased the furniture. You know, you've got to do your sums, you've got to do your measurements.
No, I didn't have any words to Tony about the furniture because it's here now and there's no way of going back, so we just have to make it work.
What's happening right now is that we're having slight disasters with the furniture.
There was so much that needed to be done. Like the adrenaline started hitting us and it was mayhem, absolute craziness. I tend to shoot my mouth off without actually realising what comes out of it.
Do something, Matt! Don't worry about the pillows!
Yeah, she's cracking it. He did seem to be moving a little slower than myself and basically, or the rest of the team.
I'm the type of person that even if there's 10 minutes to go, I think it's worthwhile taking 2 minutes just to take a step back and make sure that everything's sort of going along as it should be.
The rest of us just react and go crazy, and I tell you what, we were working to the very last second. We were all just going crazy, trying to get it finished, and sponges everywhere and just cleaning products flying across the room, and it was chaotic.
Let's face facts, the pressure is on.
For 15 minutes, I haven't picked all my stuff from here yet.
And I'm all twisted.
You've got 15 minutes.
15?
Yeah.
Don't anybody touch those papers.
I need someone to help me. I'm trying to finish my 2 rooms and no one is helping. So that's sort of it's pissing me off a bit. You know what? I've got to look after myself because everyone else is.
Where's the oven?
Yeah, I'll get you pressed down.
I think I did take on other things, you know, like taking on the budget, taking on helping other people out, when I could have put more focus onto the kitchen.
You're damned if you help people and you're damned if you don't.
We've run out of time today to get the range hood in, which is really disappointing, but you know, you can't do anything about it. So there's a very obvious gap there where a range hood and a shelf's supposed to go.
I would have been devastated. I would have been crying if it had been me. Leonie seemed quite nonchalant about it.
I know that it really brings down the presentation of my room, but I can't do anything about it.
It'd be really sad if that's, you know, if she didn't allow enough time for herself to complete her own space.
The bottom line is you've got to get your room sorted as quick as you can, be happy with it, and then help everyone else.
What was supposed to happen was that we'd have 2 armchairs on this side and the 3-seater running along there. But look, I think honestly it's fine. I'm happy. Don't talk to us.
I need manpower.
Not right now.
Time!
We done? Yeah, we're done.
Clean running on.
We're done, guys.
I think it took half an hour to go from complete bomb site to totally glamorous, amazing house.
And voila! It's not like we sort of tweaked the house. We really remodeled that space.
This renovation is going to totally change our lifestyle.
What? Celebration.
Oh.
So we then switched houses and we walked through their house and they walked through our house.
Good luck. Good luck.
Jason has done an
This is
amazing
Jason's
job.
room?
Yeah, this
Wow.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they did a terrific job with the bones that they were given.
I really love it. Yeah.
Personality.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
It's bold.
Absolutely.
This is a little bit of anxiety.
These tables are great.
Oh, how cute.
Okay, what do we got going on here?
So we went next door to see the other house.
Hello. Honey, I'm home. Wow.
And they honestly look amazing.
Both teams have finished 2 extraordinary renovations. And I think what they've achieved in just 5 days is absolutely incredible. But it's not up to me to decide. It's now time for the judges, and they have the toughest decision to make. Which house wins?
The teams will now be judged by the best in the business. Neil Whittaker, the editor-in-chief of Belle magazine, world-renowned interior stylist Sibella Court, And this week's guest judge, Paul Hecker, one of Australia's top interior designers.
You know what it does feel like? A hotel room.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit cluttered.
Furniture-wise.
Yeah, a lot of furniture.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm also not a great fan of homemade artwork. This feels like a really workable kid's bedroom.
That's some home art.
Yeah. That
works.
works because it's more of a graphic than a pretense at trying to be arty. This is an interesting room because I walk in and I think a black, white, yellow scheme is incredibly strong.
This is super cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, beautiful. It's really
Not a little
nice.
bit, but
yeah.
this is just, it just gives it a little bit more
Personality.
personal touch.
Yeah, I agree. Well, this is a transformation. This is extraordinary. Just from a planning perspective, regardless of anything else, it's transformed.
And to change the structure in that amount of time to
Yeah.
be impressive.
And brave.
And I think hiding away your fridge and microwave is such a nice idea. I think the execution is not so grand.
Ouch. Yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch.
They should have extended the doors. They've made a mistake.
That's not good at all. It works. Yeah. For me, it works. Absolutely.
A lot of storage problem solved.
I just think if you're in a competition and you want to really shine, can you do a white bathroom with grey tiles on the floor that we've seen everywhere before? I think it works really well because I think what they've done is they've allocated sufficient space to the living room to make the living room feel reasonably generous.
In these rooms, the emphasis was on the structural change.
Yeah.
And they haven't given themselves, or they haven't left themselves with much time.
It's interesting, isn't it, though? This is a case, though. Be careful how much you bite off because you can really do yourself a disservice by trying to be too ambitious.
Wow, straight into the living room.
And a tough room. Tough room to plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually they've done a reasonable job for given what the constraints of the structure were. I think this is tight, but this was always going to be tight.
But this is making it tighter. This dark colour here.
Yeah.
I think this room feels quite blocky, though.
It does.
I think the couches are really heavy. There's no softness to it.
I actually think they're way too big. What is it?
I think it's wooden discs.
I think it's wooden discs.
Yeah, but it looks like the reject end of something else.
The artwork.
What
We're
the-
avoiding talking about
handmade artwork. If there is one thing that
But do you think these units are successful in
No.
dark wood? Wouldn't they have been better in white?
I don't understand fake laminate.
No, it's
finish.
laminate.
And if you can't afford the real thing, go white.
I think the tragedy of this kitchen is that it's not finished because we don't actually know what they were going to do.
Yeah.
A pleasant bathroom, a nice resolution. Probably for me, I wouldn't have chosen that wall as the feature wall when there is a big, not particularly nicely resolved window dead smack in the middle of it. That's where your eye is drawn.
Your eye is
if you're
drawn to the ugly window.
And if your eye is being drawn
Yep.
to the ugly window
Yep.
frame, then it wouldn't have been the wall I would choose. For a tiny room, this is, I think, very successful.
Also mixing up the elements a bit more as well, so they're not so matching. You know,
Yeah.
there's this older trunks mixed with the newer sofa,
tray table.
and then this interesting lamp over here. It makes it feel much more inviting.
Very brave colour palette. This is how successfully to do a small room. The thing that lets it down is the carpet. I just think a fairly uninspired choice of carpet. This is a lovely bedroom. They haven't over-furnished it.
Yeah, I agree. I love this piece, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's quite feminine, this room.
It is
I
feminine.
actually think it is, without being girly feminine.
Yeah, do you think it feels like it belongs to the same house?
Not
Are we in
necessarily.
the same house
No.
that we were just in?
No.
I don't think so.
Each room feels like it's been done by a different designer.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of teamwork.
So here we all are, our first elimination. Let's talk about the prizes. The winning designer goes home with $100,000. And your final interior design scheme will be photographed by Real Living magazine. But also, the winning interior designer's profile will be featured in Belle magazine. So, you've all worked very hard this week. The judges have been through your houses and are here to give you their final verdict. The losing team will face elimination, and sadly, one designer will go home. Firstly, we'd like to start with the main bedrooms. Jason and Chantel, please step forward.
Should we start with Chantel's room? I thought that your room actually felt it was a little bit too cluttered. There was too many furniture pieces in there.
I believe that all of the furniture pieces all complemented each other with colour tones, all kind of told a story as you cruised around the room.
Chantel, it felt like you'd replaced one clutter with another clutter.
Okay. I was petrified. The entire lot of it was just a really terrifying experience.
Jason, I felt, for me, in terms of, if we're just talking about styling, we really liked the complexity of your colour palette.
One of the letdowns in that room was the carpet. And that we saw brought through the rest of the house, which we thought, it looked very commercial and it was quite drab for the space.
I actually wanted to use a darker carpet, thinking everything would pop more, but because they've got a baby and they thought, you know...
Well, they were wrong. In actual fact, a dark carpet with a baby would be more practical. That is that real mid-tone that is going to show every light stain and every dark stain. I guess this is the tussle that you have with the clients all the time. That is our role, to take a client to somewhere where they wouldn't otherwise take themselves.
Annie and Richie, please come forward.
Richie, my first question to you. How closely did you work with Ben and Bronte?
When I first met Ben, I don't know, my eyes just went down, saw his shoes, asked him about skateboarding, all that sort of stuff. So images just started coming to my mind straight away.
We also liked the writing that you did on the lampshades.
Yeah.
We thought that was
a really nice touch.
Really sweet.
Annie, coming to you, the rooms felt beautifully livable, and I think we particularly loved the nursery.
Yeah, I think that wallpaper for a child is just such a lovely inspiration. And again, the carpet sort of let you down.
The judges have been really constructive in their comments. I think they've been very fair in their comments. And, you know, I'm actually learning a lot from this.
Matt and Stacey, in many ways we thought both of you guys probably deserve bravery awards. Stacey, starting with you, tell us about the brief. And I have to say at this point, I understand you actually took a small bathroom and made it smaller.
I thought, you know, what if I could build the wall out by 200 millimetres and use that opportunity to conceal the cistern, you know, to have overhead cupboards that are flush. So, you know, whilst I compromised the overall square meterage of the bathroom, I felt that by doing so, it actually created the illusion of, you know, declutter and, you know, openness.
I think for 4 people sharing a bathroom, those storage solutions was really clever.
Matt, in your bathroom, you also took some brave decisions. I understand you moved the position of the toilet and the sink, which I think was quite a brave thing to do given the very tight time frame. But you also took, I think, a very brave decision to make a feature wall of the wall that also contained, frankly, a very ugly window.
Also, what I would say is probably, even at the very least, I would have painted that window out dark, so you're not reading a white frame within a dark sea of dark tiles.
So Leonie and Darren, let's talk about your kitchens.
Leonie and Darren, you both faced a big challenge with the kitchens in each house. arguably one of the most difficult rooms in terms of the time frame that you were working to and also the budget that you had available to you.
There were just a few issues with skirtings.
Skirtings.
And looking into the side of skirtings and seeing no returns and things like that.
Yeah, look, that's one of the constraints of the time that we had. We had to use everything that was pre-made, so there are only specified widths for everything.
Leonie, we've acknowledged that you all had time constraints. What went wrong with your timing? The kitchen was very, very unfinished.
You know, everybody's under exactly the same conditions here, and the timing thing just seemed to not work out for me. It was a lot to do with a number of factors, a lot to do with getting the electrical works done in the right positions, the plumbing work, and...
I walked in there and I've got to say one of my pet peeves is fake timber. And then when you look down, that lino on the floor, and I just think sometimes when budget doesn't permit you to do the real thing, err on the cautious side. Do something that is less of a feature, because if you feature it, my God, we're gonna focus on it.
Let's move on now to the living rooms. Matthew and Tony, please come forward.
You had an interesting challenge because the living dining areas in each house, in many respects, set the tone of the whole house. Tony, starting with you, my immediate response to that room when I walked in the door was I felt claustrophobic. I felt that the proportions of the furniture you used in there were just too big. It swamped the space.
Yeah.
You did have the tougher space, I think.
The tougher space, that's why the furniture selection was so important.
It's so crucial, absolutely.
It should have had more consideration.
Tell us about the art, Tony.
The idea with that piece of art is that it would actually provide a bit of a flow from the dining space into the kitchen, and we basically used up all of the last bits of paint.
Beware of homemade art. When it's someone's home, I just think those sort of things are problematic.
Matthew, onto your space.
Yes.
The space was opened up really well.
And I think the fact that you located the three-quarter height dividing wall where you didn't put it back in the original location. You extended the living room just that little bit extra.
I think styling-wise, it felt a little bit generic. I loved the space, I loved the light, I loved all that, but I felt like I'd walked into a showroom.
Yeah. Matthew and Tony, thank you. Well, the judges now have a very large decision to make.
They're in there now. I wonder what they're talking about.
Oh my God. It's nerve-wracking. It's out of our hands now, isn't it? It is.
It sure is.
While the designers await their fate, the judges now have to consider the verdict. Which house wins?
So let's discuss these two homes.
I just felt it didn't hang together.
It lacked the following the brief.
It's going to be so tough going through this every week.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just...
Sickening.
It makes you feel sick.
They inherited structural problems.
But isn't it supposed to be about design solutions?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
treatments of how to do something when you are in a tricky space?
That's
I mean,
right.
this is the idea of the competition.
I honestly forget that it is like a
competition.
Yeah,
I know.
really. And I think today, it kind of like hit home a bit.
You can't be over-ambitious. I mean, you've got 5 days, you've got this certain budget, so you have to do something that's achievable. I mean, that's the name of the game.
Who do you think? Who do you think? I've got no idea.
Welcome back, designers. And a special welcome to our families, the Mirandos and the Griffiths. Hi. Well, as you know, now there has to be a decision.
So, very difficult decision. We've looked at the execution of the brief from both families that were done by our designers, and it was quite clear to us through continuity and fulfilment of that brief with the structural and decoration changes that were made. So,
We're giving it to the Mirandos.
So Mirandos, congratulations. And in addition, the kids have such fabulous studies in their bedrooms now. We're going to give you both, Bronte and Ben, new laptops so that you can study away. So congratulations to you all, the Mirandos and the Griffiths. The winning team and the families, you can now go.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm really happy that we've won, but still distraught that somebody has to say goodbye and leave the competition.
Well, here we are. After all your hard work, sadly someone today has to go home. It's been a tough decision. The judges have made up their minds, and now it's over to them.
Annie, we felt that the 2 bedrooms that you did were really quite sophisticated. The colour palette was really good, really interesting, and I think it was a well-resolved scheme. I think we'd say for the whole house that maybe the next time there needs to be a little bit more collaboration between the designers to bring those colour palettes together as something that ties together.
Annie, you're safe. You can sit down.
Well done, Annie.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Jason, we loved the main bedroom. I thought from a styling point of view, the furniture pieces were beautifully picked and it really was executed very nicely.
Jason, you're safe. You can sit down.
Well done, mate. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Good work. So there's 3 of you left. Matt, we think you made some mistakes in the bathroom, but it was still well executed. It was a bigger job with the changing of the plumbing, and it was still nicely done with a few exceptions.
Matt, you're safe. You can sit down.
Guys, it was a really tough decision at this point. We think that in both your areas, there were some major flaws.
Leonie, the kitchen let you down. The kitchen was a mess. The kitchen was incomplete. Tony, you had an opportunity to create a lot of drama, a lot of impact when you walked into the house, and we feel that you missed that. Tony, I'm sorry, but you're going home.
Tough decision, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Tough decision.
See you guys.
Nobody wants to be like the first person to go, but it has to be somebody. And I'm just really happy that, I even had the opportunity to come on the show.
Queen Room, if you come up there.
It just kind of brings home that this is a competition and we all need to be putting in the efforts and putting in the hard yards every single week to get through.
Yeah, I know. And it's just like, that's it.
One
Yeah,
down.
there's 9.
Next time on HomeMADE, the fight to win the $100,000 prize heats up.
I just hate to see her hurt.
As one team member jumps ship.
What have I done?
They get 2 new homes, 2 new clients, and more than they ever bargained for.
Hang on.
Can't do that.
It's a no. You say no.
As the race to deliver the bedrooms.
I know I'm really not happy with that.